All right, welcome back. So yesterday we talked all about how our feelings are real and they're there for guidance. And I want to dig more into that today because your feelings really are a part of your internal compass, your internal guidance. And the mistake that many of us have made in this world that we've already kind of talked about where, feelings are kind of treated like they're not important or not real, is that we overvalue our intellect. We think that our intellect is our only decision-making tool, and feelings, intuition is all just kind of woo-woo and nonsense, and it doesn't matter, when actually the opposite is true. So I want you to just kind of imagine that you have in your mind or in your being, you have a boardroom. Okay, and you have all of these board members that are supposed to work together to run the company that is you. And instead of working together, you have this chairman or maybe CEO, and that's your intellect. And instead of doing what great leaders do and going, what do you think? What do you think? This chairman, we'll call it chairman, your intellect, this chairman, has just gone mad with power and has gone, nobody knows anything, I know everything, I have to figure everything out, I am the only decision-making tool in this company. And that's how many of us live our lives. We go, I have to think about this, I have to think about that, I have to analyze this, I have to analyze that. I'm analyzing this, but I'm feeling this way, but the feeling doesn't matter. Or, maybe it's, I'm in an interaction, and I just had this conversation with someone the other day. She was telling me the story. I used one of the tools, and this happened, and it was a positive experience. And then afterwards, I had to analyze it. And I was like, okay, well, how did you feel after? She said, I felt great. How did it feel to manage yourself? I felt amazing. And then it's like, well, no analysis needed. But you see, so many of us have this chairman of intellect that's just run mad with power that goes, nothing has value unless I can analyze it through the lens of my intelligence, of my intellect. And many of us that drive ourselves crazy with decision making have come to this because the way I look at it is your intellect, your mind, the chairman of your board is actually supposed to run the meeting, supposed to navigate, go feelings, what do you have to say? Instincts, what do you have to say? Maybe like inner knowing or higher self, if you're someone that language, what do you have to say? And then looking at all the information and then helping come to a decision. Taking all of the channels of information we have and helping sort through them, not being the only channel of information. You just need to take a second, you can even close your eyes if you want to, and just imagine that boardroom in your mind where that chairman has just been running mad, making all the decisions, not listening to any of the other members of the board, one of which is your emotions, and just putting that chairman in, maybe even demoting them to just being another board member, and maybe even having, a rectangular table and your intelligence has been sitting at the top and everyone's been sitting at the bottom, and making it a circle. So everyone, all the board members, your instincts, your intuition, your emotions, your higher awareness, and your mind, your intellect, all have equal seats, equal value. And that might sound weird, but for myself and for so many of my clients, that is one of the decision-making changes, the way of operating, that is so powerfully transformative. I'll never forget, I was having dinner with a friend who I guess actually sort of became a client at one time, and he had been sort of navigating this breakup, and he was very intellectual, very analytical, and he'd been analyzing it for, quite a long time. And I just kept bringing him up, but how do you feel? But how do you feel? How does this situation make you feel? How does the thought of that make you feel? And I said to him, I was like, I use myself as an example, and just looking at when I used to analyze everything versus when I started to use my feelings as guidance, and how my life, and it changed profoundly. And he just said to me, well, that doesn't seem like a very good way to make decisions. And I said, okay, you've been rationally, intellectually, logically analyzing this breakup for the last 6 months, and 8 months. He goes, 8 months. And I said, how's that working for you? And he was just like, okay, good point. Because I think I've talked about this before. We try to rationalize things that we feel. You know, I feel like you see this the most in breakups. Two people will be breaking up and all the friends are asking, you know, but why are you breaking up? But why? But things are so, why? And the person that's being asked that question goes, well, there's this, and it's because of that, and it's because of that. And they come up with all these reasons. And the friends are never fully satisfied with the reasons, and neither is the person that's coming up with them, because the truth is they just feel it. They just know that it's over. And because we've been taught that a feeling isn't enough, we try to rationalize and analyze, but sometimes that feeling, just as I said, is the most real thing you have, is all that you need. And again, I'm not saying that it should be just feelings that make decisions, because that would lead us to be very impulsive in many ways. Again, it's not about having one of these members become the chairman and run mad with power. We don't want emotion to that other. We want everyone to have an equal seat at the table. Intellect and intelligence and emotion balance each other. So we can use our intelligence, just like we used our intelligence to start reprogramming our subconscious mind. We're also able to use our intelligence to balance our emotion, to recalibrate it. And the more we recalibrate our emotional responses, which is what a lot of this week is about, so don't worry, we're going to get to that. But the more we can just trust those feelings and go with them as powerful decision-making tools. Because really, all of our feelings, even our negative feelings, have a value, a purpose. And once we can start to understand that, we can get the message and then we can move away from it. That's what we want to be doing. We want to be feeling the negative feeling, understanding why it's there, and then moving away from it. And so what many of us do is, you know, we feel a negative feeling and then we just sit in it. And we sit in it and sit in it and sit in it, and then we're stuck in it, and that becomes our state of being. Instead of going, oh, I'm feeling angry, and I'm feeling angry because, and then understanding why, and then moving away from it. Or I have these interactions with this person and I don't feel good. I feel sad afterwards. Instead of just feeling sad, going, why? And then maybe reflecting on it. Actually, this feeling is there to tell me that this person's pretending to be my friend, but I actually don't feel good. And if I really look at it, I can see all of these things that they've done that aren't in line with my best interest. And although I didn't logically, consciously see that right away, my feelings have been trying to tell me that the whole time. And once I get the message from my feelings, I can act accordingly. And once the feeling feels the message has been received, it tends to diminish. So the faster we can name our feeling by labeling it, by acknowledging it, the faster that we can understand why that feeling's there, and then we can navigate and we can move away from it. Or, you know, sometimes it's a good feeling, sometimes good feelings are telling us, no, we like this is good, we want more of this. And so again, just looking at those as a compass, just like a compass guides you to true north, your feelings guide you to the true you. And as you calibrate that compass, it's going to become more and more powerful, a decision-making tool, a guidance tool. And so I want you to sort of make the decision today to trust, to start to trust your feelings and go, my feelings are good. My feelings are the most real thing that I have. And if this feeling was trying to tell me something, what would it be? You're doing amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.